Hey guys, and welcome to part 6 of Let's Play Pokemon Blue. In the last part I might have got my ass handed to me twice. That might have happened. I can't remember, my memory's a bit hazy, but either way, we're fighting Gazzzaa, and this time I'm gonna win. I mean, I've got to win, right? I mean, surely I've got to win this time. Because what you guys don't know out there is that this is the third time fighting him for me after the other two fights. Because here's what happened. I thought I'll do a test playthrough or a test fight, and I won. Kicked his ass. No problems at all winning. I then just tried to record this episode, so this is my second take, and I just lose. And it's just, I get so unlucky. So hopefully me recording now I can find some sort of middle ground where I at least win, but I don't have such horrendous luck. Okay, that failed. There we go, that's what I like to see. I knew Nido could take this thing down. I knew it wasn't that tough. I really was just getting unlucky before. I don't want to keep coming up with excuses for what I did, for my shame in the last part, but it really was a case of being unlucky. I like to think anyway. Right, so Saint Awesome is the only one who's not level 16, so, you know, it just makes sense for me to send out Saint Awesome here. Get the free XP. Because I can take out the other Pokemon no problem. Again, it's just that Pidgeotto. It's just the Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto just wiped out my team each time, so there was no way I could beat 3 more Pokemon. But now that I've managed to beat Pidgeotto without anyone dying, it's no problem. It's really no problem. Right, let's go with Saint Awesome again. Because Water Gun doesn't seem to be doing that much, which is not that good. Oh, that's pretty decent. That's pretty bad. I guess Rattata has high attack and defense, just not that great special. That's what I like to see. Because I don't think Saint Awesome has that high special either, but he is one level away from evolving, so it does kind of make sense that he's a bit weak at the moment. Or relatively weak. There we go, level 16. This is going wonder. Oh, his special is actually really high. And his defense, okay, interesting. I had no idea. Yes, I will. To Quiro. Because again, like, Pidgeotto is his most powerful Pokemon. And it's bizarre. Like, Bulbasaur, just watch this. Just, there we go, one peck. Almost dead. Got lucky with the critical, but I'm pretty sure these criticals, there are one too many criticals happening in this game. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. But yeah, so that's all I needed to do. Just get past that wall, which is that flying idiot. Hey, take it easy. You won already. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Third time's a charm. Yeah, no, I'm pretty good at this game. Don't you come after me. Wait, what's up with Squirtle's tail before he quickly evolves? Look at his tail. It's really weird. It doesn't make any sense. Oh. I think they made Squirtle's tails in this game, like, bigger, so it makes more sense that Wartortle has a ridiculously big and over-the-top tail. That added a lot of pages. Who cares about pages in their Pokedex? Like, who cares? Back in the day, that actually was a pretty cool thing, which is why in this game you can get pages in your Pokedex without catching Pokemon. Or there's things you can, or without seeing one, there's like things you can do where you get the page and then you're like, oh cool, this Pokemon. Because you're also discovering all the new Pokemon for yourself. Because this was a brand new concept as a kid, and sure you had magazines, but that was about it. Like, there was a good chance you would be walking in the grass and just see a thing come at you and you'd be like, what the hell is that? And then that was pretty cool. Although nowadays, like with X and Y, every Pokemon gets announced and you just hear all the details, and then you just have these, you just hear everything about them, and it kind of takes away from the exploration part of it. Okay, so who do I want to get XP? Let's send out Buzzington. Buzzington's pretty weak. I mean, Buzzington's pretty cool. This is Nugget Bridge. Beat us 5 trainers and win a fabulous prize. Think you got what it takes? Now, it's called Nugget Bridge, right? And in this universe, a thing, you know, gold nuggets exist, where you can sell the gold nuggets for, you know, fabulous prizes, as in money. But otherwise, Nugget Bridge sounds pretty gross. Maybe that's just me thinking about it too much, but Nugget Bridge, it's not like, oh, let's go down to Nugget Bridge and have a snack. It's not. It doesn't sound good in any way. Like, why would a bridge be called Nugget Bridge? And the great thing is that this bridge actually is officially called Nugget Bridge. Like, it's not like it's called Nugget Bridge as a nickname and it's really called Super Bridge or whatever you want to call it. It's just called Nugget Bridge, like, officially, which is really bizarre. Although I don't think they quote it. I don't know if Nugget Bridge shows up anywhere else, but from looking at Bulbapedia, there doesn't seem to be another name for this bridge, which is kind of interesting, because you would think there would be, because it's a bridge. It's not defined by Team Rocket's evil scheme to give away prizes, or whatever the hell they're doing here. Now, this is technically, in a way, like Team Rocket's second thing. This is their second sort of event, Nugget Bridge, because at the end it's revealed it's all about Team Rocket, which is weird. Although Team Rocket just seems to be all over this town with the break-in or whatever. Oh, well, enough about Team Rocket. Let's kill Deadeye Pidgey. God, that's so creepy. It's so creepy. It's just nothing like Pidgey's design at all. Just nothing like it. I know I've already brought this up, but it needs to be brought up again. Like, they made Pidgey an actual real bird. Like, that is a bird. And then they just decided to change it to make it more, I don't know, fun, I guess. Like, that's like a little Robin right there, with the dead eyes. Oh, I don't know. Either way, I'm going to kill this thing and move on. Because Pidgeys are no longer a threat. Once you kill Pidgeotto, once you take on Gazzzaa, kill his Pidgeotto, none of these Pokemon are any threats. So this next part or so might get a bit dull, because this is about it. It's now, if you want to go catch any Pokemon in the grass nearby, because you can get yourself a Sandshrew, or an Oddish, or an Abra, go catch one and then train it up, because the game makes you do all these quite tedious battles. I mean, they're not that bad, but again, it does get a bit tedious having to do these battles. Like, every route, or most routes in the first generation, is like 2 trainers too long, or 1 or 2 trainers too long. That makes it kind of a bit boring sometimes. Although I can't really complain, because you can just skip the trainers if you want. Oh god, Buzzington, no! No. Oh. Oh, Quiro time. Whatever, it doesn't matter to me. I can keep them all leveled. You know, I'm pretty good at that sort of stuff, so I can keep it all leveled. One thing that's great is that Pokemon dying doesn't matter in this game at all. Now, I can't remember if it matters. Well, it means you have to go hear them, but it doesn't matter that much. Because I've been playing Digimon World Dawn and Dusk. And whenever a Pokemon or a Digimon dies, his friendship level with you goes down. And you just don't want that, because it means that sometimes they won't attack, and it's just a pain. You just need their friendship level to be high, and all you have to do is have them in battles. Now, I can't remember if that is in place, like, and then that's also in place with Pokemon, where if you're trying to evolve a Pokemon due to happiness, if you let that Pokemon feign, then they're not as happy, which makes sense, but it's really annoying when you're trying to evolve a Pokemon, so you keep sending it out, and then it dies, and then it's not as happy, then you have to go get a haircut. It's just silly. It's all quite silly. So that's one thing I do really like about this first generation, you know. It doesn't have as many features or all the stuff they added to it, but that means it doesn't have all the bad stuff, like the stupid happiness, the annoying trading. Of course, you still have to trade to get certain Pokemon, but it's nowhere near as bad, which I think is great, which is exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I want. And I just have a feeling, that X and Y is going to be filled with that crap. I'm just going to have to jump through hoops to get the Pokemon I want. Probably just going to play as first gen Pokemon in that game, first and second gen, so I don't have to jump through those annoying hoops. It's the reason why I never got any of the evolutions, because they're all such a headache. Just an annoying headache. Like, you've got to evolve it when it's happy at night. It's like, no I don't. I just won't use that Pokemon, thanks. I'm glad it's there, but I'm not going to bother, thank you. I don't care about catching them all, so I'm not going to bother doing that either. How come, with my Let's Plays, every time I need to talk about something not directly to do with the footage, because this is a bit boring, it's just training battles, I always get onto moaning. It always comes down to moaning. You know, I'm playing Pokemon Blue, an absolute classic. One of my, you know, I would say it's one of my favourite games, but then again, part of that is just because of nostalgia, and then when I rank it along my other favourite games, it's hard to fully justify. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the games that I've played so many hours of, and put so much time in, got so much enjoyment out of it, but I still couldn't put it in my top 5, and I really don't know why that is. Like, because it's not just based on nostalgia, you know? I'm still playing it and having a good time here. Despite what it sounds like, despite the fact that I'm just moaning. It took me 3 times to beat Gazzzaa, I mean. You know, I am still having a good time, and they still hold up pretty well, but I couldn't put any Pokemon games in my top 5 games of all time, and I really don't know why. There's just some quality about them where I just can't justify it. I'm not a bit Pokemon freak or whatever. Or whatever a Pokemon Ultra fan would call themselves. I'm not a Pokemon Super fan. I just really like the games. Well, Generation 1, 2, 5 was pretty good, but I can't replay it. 3 is better than expected, and 4 not so much, but still, I don't know. I really don't know. Because you see Pokemon Red and Blue in top lists of all time, you know, when it comes to video games. People do put them in those lists, but no one would ever put them in the top 10, even though they were massive phenomenons. Like, everyone played them, and people still play them as well. They're still pretty big, but people for some reason just can't put them in their top 10s. Only if it's like top 10 Game Boy games, and then if it's top 10 JRPGs, maybe I'll get number 8 as like a throwaway thing, but of course you can't compare it to Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy VI, which I think is horrendously bad. But that's just me. Right, I don't know what's quite going on here. I hope St. Awesome's doing okay. I completely stopped watching the screen. That's something that I always did when I was younger as well. You just stop watching the screen. It doesn't matter. Once you know what you're doing, once you're in a fight, you just... whatever your top attack is, you select it and then you just tap A. And that's all you did. That's all you needed to do with these original games. And then they put in a lot of tweaks so you couldn't quite do that in the later ones. You know, unless you were grinding. But with battles like these, I'm not going to fully concentrate. Yeah, I'm just not going to do that. Okay, so I think it's time to make a trip to the Pokemon Center. Because my two leading, my two Pokemon that need leveling up, they need healing at the same time. They're very needy. See, I like in Leaf Green and Fire Red, they actually put in the time to make that look like a bridge. That so does not look like a bridge. Like, it's a good effort for the Game Boy. I can't slag them off too much. It's a tiny little dumb Game Boy. It had to run on... it was going up against Tetris and Super Mario Land. And Super Mario Land looks horrendous. Or, doesn't age well, I suppose is the nice version of that, but... Okay, so who's actually in this house? I think this is a house where you can do a trade. Okay. Alrighty. I can't remember what his deal is. I remember it not being good. Your Pearl Whirl for a Jinx. Okay, not really. Because I think Pearl Whirl is awesome. And I was seriously considering picking Charmander or Bulbasaur to get a Poliwag to evolve that into Pearl Whirl. Because Poliwhirl when I was a kid was one of my favourite Pokemon, but for whatever reason it takes forever to get one of the bloody things, and it really annoys me to this day. Because I think Poliwhirl is so cool. So cool. I don't know why. And that Tadpole Poliwag as well is awesome at the same time. But you have to have a Super Rod to get it. I don't understand. Like, I don't know why you couldn't catch a Poliwag with a good rod. Maybe not an old rod, but a good decent rod, you know. I don't know why you couldn't catch one like that. It's beyond me. Because they're really good, but you don't get the Super Rod until Fuchsia. So you have to go all that time without a water type, which I'm not willing to do, I mean. Oh, thanks, Mankey. Thanks a million. Pretty cool guy. And yet again, another one whose design is completely weird. It literally is, like, Mankey's design is literally a monkey, but it has no middle bits. Instead of a body, a neck and a head, it just has that it's a pig head. It's a pig head with monkey arms, a tail, and monkey feet and arms. And legs, sorry. Which it is called a pig monkey, but to me it doesn't look like a pig monkey. It just doesn't look like one. But now I'm going to have to go back to the Pokemon Center. Oh, this brings back memories. I was never good at this game back then, and I guess I'm still not good at it because I always make trips to the Pokemon Center. Just always. Because my plan was to stock up on a ton of potions for this Let's Play. And then just, because you get tons of money in this game anyway, you don't need it. So my plan was to just have a stupid amount of potions. So instead of wasting time going back to the Pokemon Center, I would just, you know, use a couple of potions on the main Pokemon who were dying, and then that's it. But that doesn't really work out, because with my playstyle, especially of these original games, I just let my Pokemon die. I just let them die. And then I don't have any revives, and revives don't come until quite a lot later in the game, so now it's like, well, great. I just have to let them die. And then I have to go heal them. Way! A nugget! They don't specifically say a gold nugget, by the way, which creeps me out. Absolutely, that sounds wonderful news. Dedicated to evil. Like, they're so cartoonish. People complain about the other ones being too cartoonish, the other teams. This guy just says, we're Team Rocket, a group dedicated to evil using Pokemon. They're so cartoonish. I don't mind it, by the way, I'm not going to complain, but it just means you can't complain about like Team Galactic being too cartoonish, because Team Rocket are 10 times more cartoonish. Like them blatantly just saying, yeah, we're evil, and look at this whip, it's pretty cool. And we have long faces. Only people with long faces can be evil. Okay, so let's hope this works out okay. Because Saint Awesome as a War Turtle, not so great. It's a bit of a rough patch. Because he was useful against Brock, but he's not going to be useful in the next gym. He's going to be completely useless in the 3rd gym. In the 4th gym, completely useless. And then in the 5th gym, then maybe not too bad. But at the moment, until he evolves into a Blastoise, he's just kind of there. Like, I love Squirtle, but if you break it down in terms of the best starter to use, it's Charmander every time. Like, sure, it's Charmander every time. There's just no argument. As long as you know what types are, you know, what the certain types you need. As long as you can get something to beat Brock. But then again, I think a Charmander could beat that Onix. As long as you're kind of smart about it. You know, so Charmander is the best starter. And then, but I love Squirtle. It's so cool. And War Turtle's not too bad either. War Turtle I just get nostalgia over because I really like the Pokemon card of War Turtle. Or I used to see it a lot and I used to think he was awesome, so I get like nostalgia over it. What do you have to say then, Rocket? Arg! You are good! Thank you. Thank you very much. With your ability you could become a top leader in Team Rocket. I certainly could, but I am underage, I'm afraid, so... Anyway, with that I think I'm going to end the part, although I might go grab this item. Might as well while we're here. So anyway, next time in Let's Play Pokemon Blue, we're going to get to Bill's house and then probably start off the gym. So I've been HonestStorm23, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.